being in Memphis on a random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Hold up. Did you hear the three things he just named? And look at the crowd of people he talking to.
Them crackers.
Yeah, Predators.
Predators, yeah.
Like they got everything.
Doesn't look like LeBron's going to be on the Grizzlies anytime soon, so Grizzly fans out there.
Yeah, they know. Their only chance was in 2003 if they'd have won the lottery to give me there. And I might have pulled a Eli Manning and not showed up.
The problem. It's your boy T Mike. And today we're gonna discuss why does everybody hate Memphis. Now this thought came to me because recently there's been a outburst of opinions from NBA players and stuff like that saying that Memphis needs to get rid of the Grizzlies and send them to Nashville and all this shit. Now, it sounds very surface level. But with the thought processes that I have, things get very deep, and it's like I need to know why to certain shit. Like some shit just, it might sound normal, but I know there's something deeper. And this is what I came with. They put the biggest athlete, the supposed to be GOAT. This is coming from a person, this used to be my favorite player growing up. Until I realized who this person was as a person and the world as a stage and all them deep ass rabbit holes. So I'm finna send you on a rabbit hole where you might be like, what the fuck? After you watch this video or pause it and come back to it, there is a tattoo on LeBron James's chest. Pause. That sounds crazy. Why the fuck do I care that there is a tattoo on another man's chest? It's not that. It's what this tattoo is of. And it's not something where it's like, oh, you can tell he just got that because that shit fresh, that shit this and that. No, there's a very strange type of creature tattooed on his chest. Fine, go to that rabbit hole and you're going to be like, what in the entire fuck? LeBron James isn't just a capitalist. He's an elitist. He has been a puppet. This nigga don't give a fuck about none of you niggas. Nobody. How they said they did all the uproar about shut up and dribble and all this shit. The craziest part is that was some racist shit. But it was very factual because this nigga genuinely does not give a fuck about none of the geopolitics and all of this shit. Woo-to-woo. And what about the other NBA players saying Memphis hotels and this shit? Woo-to-woo. Bro, athletes, this might sound like a stereotype, but this is coming from very much experience. A lot of athletes are not that smart.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the black community, by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Like, I mean this wholeheartedly. A lot of athletes are just big in physical stature, but they have an ego that is the size of the universe. The ego. So people who thrive off their ego really don't think about logic or other people and all of this shit. So in their mind, they are spoiled millionaires at this point. So they're basically enjoying their place in the system and basically like Memphis is beneath us now and all this shit. Woo-woo. Memphis is not the best place in the world. It's not the safest place in the world, but Memphis has a lot to offer. Okay, so as I was saying with why does everybody hate Memphis, this isn't a hate thing. This is a brainwash to conquer Memphis.
What do you mean by that?
Now listen to me. If people didn't know this, I'm finna give you straight facts. And you can Google or research or go to the rabbit hole of everything I'm saying, and you're gonna be like, God damn. As I was saying, they are using the same strategy that they used in Africa and every other place in the world. They're just doing it to a city. They're conquering Memphis to drain it of its resources. If you think about the big power plants and the AI centers and all that shit that they building in Memphis and around Memphis.
And I started thinking to myself, man,
why would they be building shit like that? And nobody wants to come to Memphis. They want to sell the Grizzlies. Everybody wants them to sell the Grizzlies. If you drive around just the outskirts, like Olive Branches, Mississippi's and stuff like that, you'll notice every job is a warehouse. That is because FedEx, the place where you get your packages from, I think you know what FedEx is. That was made in Memphis. This is the center hub, basically. This is where it started at. So everything comes through Memphis, especially with us being right on the Mississippi River. So even back during the slavery days, that Mississippi River, you're gonna pass through Memphis. So everything comes from Memphis. So many big companies that you shop at and use come through Memphis. So that should tell you something. Memphis is very valuable. They finna basically do it how they do the blood diamonds and shit. They finna try to drain Memphis of all its resources, trying to basically make it seem like a place that doesn't deserve any positive impact. This is finna be basically like a plantation. They finna put niggas to work in Memphis, and that's it. We finna take all the diamonds essentially, because Memphis has a different type of water system, and AI needs gallons and so much water to operate. Memphis doesn't just take water. Memphis doesn't use water from the Mississippi River. Under Memphis is a bunch of whales. Like you niggas, you throw the quarters in the whales and stuff like that. Use your imagination, but it's thousands, probably millions under Memphis. So we have a different type of purity of water. That's why they say Memphis has the best water to drink. So if you drink water, basically like, for example, New Orleans, you better off sticking a cup inside of a fish tank drinking the water, because that should be horrible. But if you drink Memphis water, you're going to tell this is a very different type of water, even from drinking a bottled water. All of that shit correlates. And LeBron is basically just the puppet of it all. He's basically because some people idolize this nigga like he God or some shit. And this nigga just play basketball, bro. Like, I fuck with Kobe Bryant and I understand the Mamba mentality and all of that shit, woo to woo. Yes, I respect all of that. But when it comes to niggas like King James and shit, yeah. Remember how I told you about the ego of just niggas in college and all that shit? It's levels. So imagine if everybody calling you the greatest player of all time, and they had you in this system since you was a kid, basically. Like, if you look in the NBA, there's not too many people who come from poverty anymore. It's a system. They're taking niggas out of there because they've had their eye on the niggas in the NBA since they was like 6 years old. And they put them in all these camps and all this shit. It's sponsored by the big brands like Adidas, Nike, this and that. That's why they have to go to certain colleges that are sponsored by. So they know who gonna be in the NBA way before we do. Like way before. They have been controlled and conditioned their whole life. So they don't think and operate. If you think I'm bullshitting, Derrick Rose even said something about this.
Like what you were just talking about, being a part of the Matrix. I didn't shake out of that shit until after I got hurt. So a lot of people may look at my story and be like, man, he's the biggest what if, blah, blah, blah. You right. What if I didn't get injured? What? I wouldn't have found myself. I still would have been a part of the fucking circus, bro.
What is the circus?
I mean, going along with the act.
Break it down, because okay, you got into that. Yeah.
All right, let me just tell you.
Right.
The circus. Only looking up shit that's on Instagram that they feed to you. Mm-hmm. That's the circus. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, oh, Black history, you learn something about Black history, and it's like, oh, I'm about to look this up now. That's the Matrix. Instead of you going and looking up, like, all right, if I'm into cameras, I want to know who made Sony, and I want to know who how did he make his money, and who is his family, and what school did he go to, right. And what was his interest in making camera, what triggered him to make that camera, right. Instead of you seeing it online, like, oh, a Black man made a camera, or something made a camera, this and that. Right. I want to know the interest, and I didn't understand that till after I got hurt.
Derrick Rose had one of the worst knee injuries, and he had them a couple times. And he said this was some of the best shit that happened to him. You'll think, what the fuck? This is the youngest MVP ever and all of this. Why would he say that thankful for his knee injuries and stuff? He said because it gave him time to wake up out of the system. Like he was just going on autopilot, just flowing with the ego and all that shit. He became a knowledgeable man and realized all this shit is the stage and all this shit. The same with Kyrie, basically. You can tell when something switched, like they had time to sit down. That's why when certain guys go to jail, they become Muslims and all of that shit, because they never had time to sit down. They were just operating out the streets and doing all that shit. So when you sit down and see this shit for what it is, man, it's just a big plot to basically extract as much resources from Memphis and leave this shit out to dry. So, with all due respect, fuck LeBron James. Believe it.